The woman arrested in a 35-year-old unsolved murder in Calhoun County says she's glad she was finally caught. That's what Sheriff Greg Pollen says Glenda Armstrong told sheriff's deputies when they charged her with murder.
WTVA's Jake White live in the studio with more on the decades-old cold case that was finally solved this week. Jake.
Yeah, Craig, Emily, James Hippie Webster was murdered near the small town of Bruce in February of 1989. The sheriff says the woman accused of killing Webster is relieved that she was finally caught. 55-year-old Glenda Armstrong is charged with murder and sits in jail tonight. Investigators say Armstrong stabbed Webster to death. It happened at a now defunct nightclub called Baldy's near Bruce 35 years ago. Two of the Sheriff Poland's top men worked on this unsolved cold case nonstop for the past 10 months. They are Chief Deputy Dean Poyner and Deputy Wayne Plunk. The deputies got a tip that led them back to Glenda Armstrong. The men gathered enough evidence from that tip to charge Armstrong and solve the decades-old murder. Sheriff Poland says criminal investigations can be solved when law enforcement and the community work together.
It's vital. I said this earlier to someone else. If you don't have the community help, there are many crimes that are never going to be solved. You have to have that connection, that information, that trust with them to come forward and help us. And we try to build that every day.
One more note on Armstrong's arrest. The sheriff says Armstrong was relieved because she had been living with the guilt and shame for 35 years. A court date and hearing has not been set. Live in the studio, Jake White, WTVA 9 News.
So live at 5:03, we check in with Chief Meteorologist Matt Lobhan, who's Friday afternoon hanging outside. What's up with that?
I mean, why not? It's Friday,
Yeah,
it's clear, it's dry, and he's outside.